Welcome to today's webinar, Ayurveda Advanced Nutrition with Dr. Rupali Panse. We are glad to have you with us today for HUA's last webinar of 2024. Thank you everyone for joining. If you haven't yet, please put in the chat where you are joining from. I'd like to give you a shout out. Chitranjanji from Columbus, Ohio. Namaste. Thank you for joining. I am Okur Patel, the Director of Outreach for HUA, joining from Los Angeles. Dr. Rupaliji, you want to do a quick audio check, let people know where you're joining from?
Oh, namaste everyone. I'm joining from Orlando, Florida.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining from Orlando. We have Ganeshji from Miami, Saiji from Edison, New Jersey, Ketanji from Atlanta, Seema from Chicago, Sandhya Gandhi. Oh, yes, Sandhya ji. Nice to have you join us. We were at an event in Los Angeles, Irvine area, just a little while ago. Rameshji from Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome, Dr. Satamurthy from DC. Welcome. Dayton, Ohio. Is that Christine from Dayton, Ohio? Yes. Welcome, welcome. Umesh Rao from Santa Barbara. Shriji from Hyderabad, India. Nanakji from Houston. Teresa is a Tier from Rainy, Arkansas. Glad to have you with us. Jason from Cali. Dana from New York. Manavbhai, Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year. Welcome everyone for today's webinar on Ayurveda Advanced Nutrition. Anandji from Cincinnati, welcome, welcome. If you haven't filled out the poll yet, please fill out that poll. Let us know if this is your first webinar, if you've taken a course with HUA before, and I'll share those results shortly. But let us get started with our webinar today on Ayurveda Advanced Nutrition. So a lot of us already know Ayurveda is a holistic and complete consciousness-based wellness paradigm that has its origins sourced straight from the timeless Vedas. In the contemporary era, concern for disease prevention is neglected in favor of medicine and treatments, pills and surgeries, right? Diet and food, when viewed through the lens of Ayurveda, become central to preventing and managing health conditions. Ayurveda enables a personalized approach to the management and restoration of health. So in this webinar, Vaidya Rupali Panseji will provide an overview of nutrition through the philosophy of Ayurveda, its potent implications for health and well-being, and talk about how nutrition in Ayurveda ties in fundamentally to a holistic approach to dietetics and overall wellness. So that's our subject for today, Ayurveda Advanced Nutrition. Dr. Panse is going to go over some of that. Yes, food is medicine. Deepaji from California, thank you for joining. Here, let me share these quick poll results. Let's see who is with us today. 15 first-timers, glad to have you. Join us, 9 regulars, 24 attended before. Glad to have you at the end of this year. And if you've taken a course at HUA, 16 people have taken at least one course. 2 program enrolled students, welcome. Glad to have you on. Maybe you're thinking about what course you will be taking next. 19 people are just now considering taking a course. If you are, please stick around, hear what Rupaliji has to say about advanced nutrition, and then we'll explain what the course details are later on. And the 7 folks who are not interested in course as well, glad to have you on for our webinar. Enjoy this presentation. And we'll have a lot of conversation and engagement. And so now let me introduce our speaker, our guest, our faculty. Dr. Rupali Panse has completed her BAMS in 2001, certificate in child counseling in 2014 from Pune University in India. She's got 20 years experience in clinical Ayurveda, Panchakarma, and Ayurvedic nutrition. She practices now as an integrative nutrition, wellness, and lifestyle consultant, as she said, in Orlando, right where our Pine Lake University campus is. She's the vice president of the AAF, the Ayurveda Association of Florida. She's been on panels of academic experts. She's been teaching faculty at CCIH, integrative dietetics and Ayurveda nutrition at Savitribai Pune University in India. She's a resource person for the National Institute of Ayurveda in Jaipur. She's visiting faculty at MIU in Minnesota. She is amazing. She's now teaching retreats at HUA. She's teaching more and more courses. She is with HUA in this mission to bring Hindu knowledge systems, Indian knowledge systems to you in a way that is accessible and you can use it in your day to day. And there is nothing more important than diet. What are we eating 3 times a day, 4 times a day? There's a whole conversation there. How much should you be eating? When should you be eating? We can take all of your questions and get into Ayurveda advanced nutrition with Vaidya Rupali Panseji. Rupaliji, let me hand it to you now to get us started. I think you have a presentation, but I hope that wasn't too long, but glad to have you today with us. Thank you.
you. Thank you so much, Ankurji, for such a kind, warm introduction. You're always so generous with me, kind with me. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you all. As Ankurji mentioned, this is last webinar for 2024. We are all set to say bye-bye to 2024 and welcome with a happy, open heart for 2025. Let the new year be year of happiness, health, peace, and progress for all of you. And yeah, as Ankurji mentioned, Ayurveda is a part of Vedic science. It is a very ancient science. It is, we can say that it is the first documented science about human health. And most importantly, it is not about treating the diseases only. It is not about just the medicines, but it is about human life, human aesthetics, not only physical health, but also mental health. In fact, Ayurveda is the first science who, offered the most holistic, most perfect, most ideal, and most complete definition of health to the mankind, I'll say, because Ayurveda is the science which mentions about Deha, Indriya, Mana. We are talking about health or we are talking about swasthya. While defining the swasthya or swastha or healthy human, Ayurveda mentions if you are physically healthy, if you are mentally healthy, it is not sufficient to be completely healthy. Along with your physical and mental health, you have to be spiritually healthy, you have to be socially healthy, and it's not about only your mind and body, but Ayurveda gave importance to your five sense organs, which is actually gateways for the external world. These are the gates for you to either accept or reject any information, any new learning which you are, basically these are the modes to connect you with the external world. So yeah, Ayurveda considers all these aspects, even the cognitive health, behavioral health is mentioned as a part of a complete healthy person. So yes, it starts from there, offering a holistic definition of health and teaching humankind what is your body, what is your mind, how you should, connect your body with your mind, how you should learn to be aligned with your sense organ, with your. This is a very complex as well as very simple triangle: your body, your mind, and your sense organ. And Ayurveda makes sure that at every step of explaining, whether it is explanation of disease, whether it is explanation of dinacharya or rutucharya, or whether it is just a simple theory about any nutrition, Ayurveda makes sure to teach you to align your body, mind, and sense organ together, so that they will, if they are in harmony, definitely metabolism will be in harmony. So yeah, in today's session, I'm more eager and I'm more interested in answering your questions, interacting with you. But to just let the topic start, oh, yes, it is Ayurveda. It is not Ayurveda, I'm absolutely sure. But in the English language, we say yoga, which says, so it is Ayurveda. Okay. So, yeah, but I would be happy to say Ayurveda. So, definitely nutrition and Ayurveda are inseparable because Ayurveda advocates, Ayurveda puts human being in various koshas. Among them, our physical body is most important kosha, because if you don't have physical body, there is no medium at all to live your life, right? Because you need your body to live your life. So, and the biggest kosha is physical body, and this physical body is nourished each and every second by the food you are eating, right? So if you want to keep your physical kosha, or physical kosha is termed as annamaya kosha. So it is not termed as bhautika kosha, or it is not termed as solid kosha, etc. in Sanskrit terms, but it is exclusively termed as annamaya kosha, because if you're not eating food, if your food is not able to nourish your physical body, your physical kosha will not be existing. Your physical body will be degrading slowly. So I think that's why our Hindu, or not only Hindu but overall Vedic literature um, praises food as Parabrahma. Anna is Parabrahma, and overall the eating, the process of eating or the process of cooking is also termed as yajna, havan. So it is a holy process. Your body is converting the food you are consuming in a very holy process, in a very systematic process, just like havana, because havana or yajna is a very standardized, is a very authentic process to offer something to the god, in a way that your prayers, your overall rituals will be getting desired fruits, or desired objectives are there for any yajna or havana. The same way, your body is not just mechanically digesting your food as a part of physiological process, but it is a holy process. The same way food nourish your annamaya kosha, it is said that it is also nourishing your manomaya kosha. Manomaya kosha is the most subtle, invisible kosha of human body, which nourishes your thought, which nurtures your personality, which nurtures your reactions, your thoughts, your decisions, your interactions, your reactions to others, and overall mental well-being is also dependent on manomaya kosha. And after physical body, the food is also responsible to nourish your manomaya kosha. So that is the importance of food. So yes, food is medicine, but before that, food is life. Food is the basic reason for growth, for development, not only for growth and development, but food is also responsible for the energy levels that you are carrying throughout your life. So um, is it my internet connection? Are you everyone is having issues
No, no,
hearing me
no.
properly?
Rupali I think we're okay.
Okay.
I think that's Sundaranjanji.
Fine. If there is disturbance, I apologize for that. But anyways, yeah, koshas. So Chittaji, koshas are nothing but some physical, some visible, and some invisible portions of the human body. So few are visible, just like physical koshas, and annamaya kosha, which is the term for that. Manomaya kosha is very subtle, which are your thoughts, which are overall, we can say that Manohar Srotasa is the right word for describing the any koshas. So koshas are systems, koshas are the way your body is interacting, body is transporting physiological entities, etc. Definitely, we are going to learn it in the nutrition course more about koshas. Okay. No, I'm not sharing any slides because I'm more interested in having interaction with you all. So it will not just a one-way presentation. I will be very happy if you are asking any questions, or if you want to share anything, if you want to, express your opinion also on this topic. Okay.
Yeah. I think Vijay Khane is with us. Let me see if I can get him to give his, and then if there are any questions that you want to take, um, please feel free. And please put your questions in the Q&A box so that
Yeah,
we
sure.
can filter through them, answer them, and then address your concerns. You started answering this one about reversing plaque in arteries. Do you want to get into that one right off the bat, and then we'll have VJG come
Yeah,
on
yeah.
board?
I read that question in chat box. So,
Mhm.
forming plaques, it is very important to understand what are plaques and how are they formed. According to Ayurveda, it is considered as one of the output of chronic indigestion, not only on the level of digestive system, but on the level of tissue formation. Whatever food you are going to eat is, if it is properly digested, if the nutrients are properly absorbed, then only they are going to be converted into various tissues, right? Dhatu is the word for tissues in Ayurveda. And tissues are blood, muscle tissues, adipose tissues, and all bone tissues, etc. So, if you understand the pathology behind the plaque formation, and if you can intervene in time, definitely plaques are reversible for by using adequate herbs. Intervention, Ayurvedic formulations. Some Panchakarma are very helpful. Some Langhana or fasting techniques are very helpful for plaque reversing process, as well as diet changes and lifestyle changes are most important, either in avoiding preventive measures or therapeutic measures also. But definitely it depends on how much are the plaque formation, what is the prakriti of that person. The prakriti is a very interesting and unique concept in Ayurveda, because if kapha prakriti person is having plaques and vata prakriti person is having plaques, definitely vata prakriti person will be more easy for us doctors to reverse its plaques because of their metabolic patterns. And kapha prakriti, we need to take more efforts, we need to give more time for the reversal process.
Great. We have VJG with us. Thank you for addressing that concern about plaque and getting into the details. We'll take all of your concerns. I think we're gonna have a lot of time to take individual questions, and then Rupali ji will take that step back and apply it more broadly where and when she can. So please have your questions in the Q&A box. We'll try and go through the chat box. But with that, let me ask VJG, Vijay Kaneji. He's in the Houston area. He's a friend of HUA. He's been active with the university for over, I think, 2 years, 3 years now. And he's taken many courses, and he's going to talk about his experience. So, VJG, thank you for being on today.
Namaste, everyone. Namaste, Rupali ji. Namaste, Ankur.
Namaste, Vijay.
So I just wanted to give a testimony. I have taken Rupali ji's course, Ayurveda Essential Nutrition, last year. And then I was planning to take the advanced one. I had a conflict. I'm involved with too many things. So eventually I'll get to the advanced nutrition. And I'm studying Ayurveda on my own for a while now. And I've taken a deep dive and interest in this course. And so I just wanted to give a little endorsement for those of you that are listening about the course. Rupali ji is an excellent teacher. She gets right to the bottom of the issues and explains the fundamentals very, very well. And I think that's really important to understand the basics. I had taken another course before offered by Krishnamurti, Luvina Krishnamurti, on disease through the lens of Ayurveda. So there are so many different angles you can come to with respect to Ayurveda. And the focus on prevention is huge. And as I call it, in the US, our whole healthcare system is very pharma-centric. It's all good for what's good for large pharma is what's good for America. And that attitude is never going to go away because the pharma lobby is so strong. But we all are responsible to learn our own things. And in our own Shastras, this has been going on for centuries. And who disappoints me the most are physicians of Indian origin who have hardly any understanding of our own Ayurveda. But anyway, that's we all have to take control of our own lives and learn these things that are available. And this course is a great way to get introduced to Ayurveda. And it's an excellent job that Rupaliji does. And I myself have learned so many things. And at the end of the course, um, in the first one, the Ayurveda Essential Nutrition, we all were given this project of presenting a recipe. And so I had presented my oatmeal recipe and wanted to get because, we all believe what we are doing is the right thing, but it's always good to get it checked. And so when I presented my recipe, I was so pleasantly surprised that Rupaliji only made one recommendation, one change, and that was I was putting banana in the oatmeal, because oatmeal can be cooked either in milk or almond milk or soy milk or so many different things. So in Ayurveda, mixing fruits and milk products is considered viruddhahar. And so that was the only change that was recommended. So I felt very proud that I'm really learning well, you know. So that was my opinion about the course. So for those of you that are wondering how this course is going to be, I highly, highly recommend you try it. Now, Rupaliji might actually talk about this, that advanced course, is it necessary to have taken the Ayurveda Essential Nutrition as a prerequisite before somebody jumps into this? Or will you be covering the basics and people can jump into it? I mean, in my mind, it would be a good idea to take the Ayurveda Essential Nutrition first before you go into the advanced. But maybe you can talk about that.
Sure, sure. First of all, thank you so much, Vijayji, for your good words about the course and about me. Thank you so much. And yes, it is definitely recommended to take Ayurveda Essential course before you jump into Ayurveda Advanced. But if somebody has already background of yoga or Ayurveda, or if somebody has learned basics about Ayurveda, definitely they can join Ayurveda Advanced course, because in Ayurveda Advanced Nutrition, we will be talking about different health condition and how you can bring small changes, or how you can modify your various recipes to deal with those health related conditions. We will be also talking about some home remedies that you can prepare from simple cooking spices, simple kitchen herbs, or even simple Ayurveda medicines that are part of nutrition, because most of the Ayurveda formulations are having very simple spices and herbs, so we can use them in nutrition. We will also be talking about various life stages like childhood, old age, pregnancy, or puberty, post-menopausal, premenopausal stages, where nutrition plays immense role in maintaining the health and overall metabolism. So yeah, if somebody already has background, already is aware of basic theories of Ayurveda, they can definitely go and enroll in advanced course. So, Ankurji, I can see so many questions in chat box and in Q&A box. So,
Yeah.
shall I go and answer them?
So let me moderate and ask, and then kind of reposition them to be more broad, because a lot of people are asking specific questions about themselves. But let me just go through it, and then VJG, if you want to chip in here or there, you're welcome to. And if other folks have questions, just keep on adding them. So this in the Q&A box, I'm going to take those first before I get into the chat box. So please put them in the Q&A box, and then we'll get to the chat window. Um, is a trip to Udli Kanchan for cleansing useful for US life, right, in Pune? So maybe this is a broader question, like the specific idea of going somewhere for a cleansing purpose versus our everyday atmosphere. What are we surrounding ourselves with? What energy are we taking in? What are we breathing in? And then these kind of pilgrimage ideas, are they useful? How does that play into that holistic approach?
First of all, Uri Kanchan is not an Ayurvedic retreat or Ayurveda therapy center. Uri Kanchan Center is Nisargopchar Center. So Nisargopchar, naturopathy and Ayurveda is not same, first of all. Please remember. So their techniques are different from Ayurveda therapy center. So if you want to go to Uri Kanchan for naturopathy or Nisargopachara, you can go for that. But just remember, it is not Ayurvedopachar Kendra. It is Nisargopachar Kendra. Okay.
Okay. Well, maybe you could just go over the doshas a little bit, right? That's a general question.
Sure,
Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. So Anupji is saying they are reading Ashtanga Hridayam nowadays. That's a good thing, Anupji. You can definitely go into that book. That book is good. Advice for healthy life to get started in 2025. Definitely, Dinacharya is the answer for that. And Dinacharya is nothing but adaptation of a very simple but very effective Ayurvedic lifestyle. So the time when you get up, what do you do? How do you brush your teeth? Whether you are doing oil pulling. So taking care of your sense organs, taking care of your physical and mental body is the purpose of Dinacharya, because what you are doing every day is nothing but the bricks you are building for your day-to-day health, not day-to-day, but your future health. So if your Dinacharya is strong, your immunity is well built, your metabolism is good, your overall excretory systems works very well. So Dinacharya is the answer for a great start for 2025. Unfortunately, I cannot explain Dinacharya in a overall, few minutes or in one presentation, because for Dinacharya, we need at least 3 hours. And we discuss it in Ayurveda Essential and Ayurveda Advanced course also. So uh, I'll wrap up this question as one words and answer. Dinacharya is the result answer for this question. What does Ayurveda consider as inputs or ahara? Is there any classical reference for it? I have heard that food, water, breath, and perception are the four ahara input. Is there a reference to this? Definitely, there are so many references regarding these nutritional theories in Ayurveda. Rather, Sutrasthan in Charaka Samhita, many chapters are only dedicated to the nutrition. Even before describing any disease or any disease remedy or any disease medicine, the first initial chapters or sthanas are totally dedicated to nutrition, totally dedicated to preventive lifestyle and preventive diet. Ayurveda focuses on plant-based diet, which nourishes the body aligned with nature. However, in today's world, when it comes to the intake of protein, there is always a debate on non-vegetarian food and more sources of protein. Please provide insight and also suggest what kind of foods help for vegetarian like me to get the protein adequately. That is a very common question, majorly asked by my patients, by my readers, by my students in every class. So thank you for asking it again, because it is important, because major population is vegetarian, and only meat is not the protein source. Trust me, there are very good protein sources for vegetarian people. For example, very few people know that amaranth or rajgira can be an excellent source of protein, and at the same time it is very light to digest, which is unlike protein, because protein food are very heavy to digest. It takes very much time to digest the protein. But amaranth and some grains like amaranth are excellent example of high protein sources, along with other pulses and lentils, green moong, masoor dal, lentils, red lentils. They are the very good source of protein. Nuts and seeds, and to some extent, if you are not intolerant to dairy products can also be very good source of protein. So this question is important, and in advanced Ayurveda course, we have dedicated separate session for that. If somebody is vegetarian, if somebody is lactose intolerance, what will be the good source of calcium? What will be the good source of protein? Good source of fat also. So definitely we are going to discuss this in a elaborate way, or in a very deep way in sessions in Ayurveda advanced course. But for this question, nuts, seeds, then good lentils can be a good source of protein. And diversity is also important. What food you are eating, it should be diverse, it should be rich in fiber, it should be rich in good fat, because fatless food is not healthy food. Trust me, if somebody is admiring themselves that I am following good lifestyle because I am eating less fat, or because I cook oil less, or I don't eat ghee. That is not the right kind to eat your food. There are so many hundreds of things that you will be learning in these courses, whether it is essential or Ayurveda or advanced Ayurveda or fasting or detox. There are 3-4 courses I'm offering for HUA. Every time you will learn so many different things. There will be so many myths that you will be getting correct, authentic answers from Ayurveda, not from Dr. Rupali Panse, but from the Ayurvedic, with the Ayurvedic references, with the research links that are being performed nowadays, aligned with the Ayurveda theories. Okay. Are there any common rules mentioned in Shastras on the commentaries about food intake process in relation to Purnima and Amavasya? Thank you. Specifically, if you are asking about Purnima and Amavasya, there is not mention of Purnima Amavasya, but there are some fasting techniques which are devised, which align with the Amavasya and Purnima. So yes, while advocating what kind of food you will be eating and in what amount throughout the month, throughout the dinacharya, or throughout the rutucharya, these specific references does align with the lunar phases overall. So yes, when we are talking about seasonal regime, seasonal nutrition regime in Ayurveda, you can see that they are very aligned with these lunar phases also. Curd and curd products eating after sunset is to avoid it, and why? A very good question. Okay. Because most of the times it is not followed by a common population. Those who have learned Ayurveda, or those who are following the instructions of their grandparents, they will be following this particular tradition of not eating curd in the night. See, curd is a very delicate food substance. Basically, it is a dairy food. It has very low shelf life, and we all know it is a very rich probiotic, so it will be having live bacteria, live microbes in it. And as uh, the time passes, the microbes will be more in the growth, and along with the good bacteria, along with the lactobacilli, there will be presence of some unwanted bacilli or some unwanted bacterium into the curd also. Usually when the curd is set, it takes 24 hours to stay set properly, right? When it is set properly overnight or 24 hours, depends on the season, usually we consume it in a daytime. So if you are delaying consumption of curd, then definitely the probiotic nature will be more harmful. The probiotic nature will not be favoring your gut microbiome, but it will be generating more mucus into the systems. It will be becoming very heavy to digest, and that is why it is said that it should be consumed in the daytime. And there are various things I time to time mention while advising curd consumption. That curd should be consumed either with the ghee, or with the rock salt, or with the amla powder, or with the honey. So these are antidotes for curd. So if somebody is having allergic overall nature, allergic colds, or allergic tendencies, and if they are consuming curd, they have to follow these rules. By doing so, they will be reaping the benefits of probiotic curd. At the same time, they will be avoiding the mucus generating property of the curd. Okay, so many questions. I'm happy. Okay. Okay. Advise best meal plan for a pre-diabetic person. So this is a very specific question, but in Ayurveda advanced course, there is a separate session on diabetes and nutritional remedies. So we will be talking about that in very detail.
Maybe you could just outline a little bit of the course, and I can put
Oh
the
yes,
details
sure, sure.
in the chat so that people know that it's going to be on Thursdays, starting January 16th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And as Rupaliji is doing now, she'll take all of your questions and engage, but also through the course, she's got a course, right? A plan, information, and knowledge that she's going to share with you week by week in our learning management system. Many of you have taken a course before, so you know how it works. For you who haven't, you get your @hua.edu email address and you log in, and the course is there. And week by week, you can find the Zoom link and the readings and the recipes, the details specific for this course. And we make it easy, we make it accessible, and Rupali ji, like she has been so far, is engaging and willing to answer your personal questions and the general questions, and then she does it with a lot of knowledge and experience behind her.
Sure, sure. Gurji, I can see the questions are literally the way we have designed the advanced course, because somebody is asking about 60 plus age and overall nutrition. We have separate session, rather we have dedicated 2 sessions on the life stages and nutrition. So we will be talking about 40 plus, 60 plus. We will be talking about health conditions in the childhood and how you can overall manage those health conditions by just using food, or by just you know using the overall nutritional theories in Ayurveda. So we will be talking about diabetes, we will be talking about cardiovascular disorders, atherosclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, allergic conditions, skin diseases, some kidney disorders. We will be talking about sense organs and their diseases, for example, eye problems, mouth cavity, oral cavity problem, or anything, and how you can use nutrition, how you can use simple home remedies or nutritional remedies to deal with those health disorders or simple diseases. We will be talking about preparing some pathya diet, which is a very important theory, rather which is a very important part of Ayurveda nutrition. You should know that what to cook and what not to cook and eat when you are ill. For example, right now I am having cough, cold. I was suffering from fever from 2 days. So my diet will not be the same when I'm having fever or headache. So there will be some special diet for me, which is called as Pathya diet in Ayurveda. And it is very, very important for all of us to know at least 8 to 10 recipes, at least 8 to 10 Pathya recipes, which will help us during our, overall health conditions. So these Pathya recipes will also be discussed in classes. We will teach, we will show the videos, how to prepare those recipes. Rather, the reference book for this course is written by myself only. The name of the book is Food Guru, Your Guide to Eating Right. So it is well aligned with the course also, so that you can read that book before the sessions. You can ask questions on that. You will be, these will be your pre-readings, this book. And there are more than 130 recipes in that book also. So we will also be discussing about Pathya recipes. We will be discussing about right kind of probiotic, right kind of prebiotic, how the modern medicine is advocating probiotic, and how not to use those probiotic without knowing your microbiome, because every gut is different, every person is different. So we will be talking about kapha prakriti people disorders, pitta prakriti people disorders, etc., and how to incorporate all these Ayurvedic nutritional theories along with that. So as Ankurji mentioned, there is a proper LMS maintained by HUA, so you will be getting videos to watch, getting links to read prior the session, so that there will be quizzes provided for your own understanding of the topic. So those will not be graded, but it's for your own interest, so that you can go through the quizzes and self-assess that whether you have learned something from that session, or you have more queries and questions, so that you can ask those queries the next session. As Vijayji mentioned, there will be some nice projects or activities for students. So in the first session, we will be talking about how to take the case, how to gather the information from the person that we have to work on. For people who are starting on the baseline, the information will be for themselves. I should know the proper data of the person. I am going to design the diet. In my practice, when people reach out for their customized diet to decide their own prakriti. My prakriti is kapha prakriti. I can see that after 40s, these are the changes that I am not able to avoid. So can you suggest me personalized diet? So for that, I'll need a very detailed information. So the first session will be a case taking session, how you can gather the information, how you can correlate that information, and how you can prepare a nice personalized plan for that person. So definitely we will be learning about preparing the nutritional plans or preparing the diet plans also. Um,
Yeah.
So one more question regarding the onion and garlic. They are tamasic in nature, but also good for health. Can you share your views on whether we can eat, when to eat it? And that's a very good question, Soumya ji, because certain foods they are having their own innate properties, innate nature. For example, meat, it is tamas. Milk, it is sattvic. Fresh fruits, they are going to be sattvic. Delicacies or exotic food, they are going to be rajasic only. But how we prepare them, how we cook them is also important. For example, in every class, I say this. I know I can see a few students of mine, they will say that, okay, Dr. Pali every time says this. But I say that I have a magic with me. Ayurveda taught me a magic. Give me any food and I can convert it into either Rajasic, Tamasic, or Sattvic as per my need. So if you are giving me meat, which is naturally tamasic, but if I want to convert into a sattvic food, I can convert it. Instead of cooking that meat into very marination or very high spices, high oil, storing it into the refrigerator, I will avoid that. Fresh meat, boil some with some spices, prepare a soup out of it. It is tamasic, but it is the cooking process is sattvic. So the tamasic guna will be naturally less. The same way, if you give me milk, which is naturally sattvic, cow milk, I can convert it to a tamasic food. How? I will store it. I will, overall spoil it with lemon. Then I'll prepare various dishes out of it. It becomes tamasic. Yes, paneer is tamasic. Yes, cheese is tamasic. Though it is prepared from cow milk, the cooking process, which is called as samskar. What a beautiful word. Ayurveda says that samskarat gunantara dhanam. That means the process which alters the natural properties of particular thing is called as samskar. So what samskars you are doing on your food also matters a lot. So onion and garlic are naturally tamasic, but if you consume them in a less amount, if you mind the seasons, for example in Varsha Rutu, which is monsoon season or cloudy weather. Right now, I have cloudy weather in Orlando. So if I consume onion and garlic, it becomes more tamasic for me. But if I'm consuming it in a nice winter season, along with some good spices, then it will become less tamasic for me. So yes, we do talk about trigunas, sattva, raja, tama, in our courses, and we do try to teach our students how to convert the sattvic tamasic guna into desired gunas. Thank you for asking that question. It's very common to drink cold water, but many people have issues with it. Any words about it? Oh yes, we we have a separate session on water consumption, rather water on in Ayurveda Essential course, where we teach how to drink water and how to alter the properties of water also. So warm water is very easy to digest. Warm water is directly absorbed to the digestive system without any efforts. At the same time, cold water needs more time to digest. So I have mentioned a separate chapter in Food Guru also, my book, which talks about various properties of waters and which pots, which metal you should use to store water and all.
Let me just
So
launch the
weekly,
poll. Let us
yeah.
know if you're interested in the course. Starting in January. Somebody else was asking how much is the course. So this is a 1.5 quarter credit hours. So it's 1.5 credit hours, so 1.5 hours a week. So it's a $300 course. And that'll take you from January through March, and you become part of the HUA family. Again, this course is on Thursdays at 8:30 Eastern. And then if you might be interested in a retreat with Rupali ji, just let us know at the bottom, and when we plan one, we'll be able to follow up with you. Priya ji, I think you can buy Food Guru off of Goodreads or Amazon. Rupali ji, is there a particular place that you recommend people
Yeah,
purchase the
either,
book
yeah,
from?
yeah. Or they can just email me with their address and how many copies they want. I will ship them.
Oh, great. So
Yeah, so I can type my email here.
yeah, awesome. So Priya ji, please take that down, and get on that. Jason is asking kind of a general question. Do you think the United States will ever pick up on Ayurveda as a medical practice down the road and take from the wealth and also centuries of age-old practices into the USA medical standards? And he compares it to naturopathic medicine, which took 60 years to get its foot in the door in the US. And actually, this is one of our aims at Hindu University
Yes.
of America to mainstream this knowledge system and apply it to address major concerns in contemporary America. We have so many medical doctors who know the current medical system is not realizing the results that we want and should have. And Ayurveda is a wonderful tool to help elevate the quality of healthcare in America. And we're going to be taking it seriously across all fronts, right? Not just online courses, in-person retreats, but the continuing medical education, the recognition of Ayurveda as a proper science that has evidence, the research that goes behind it, the clinical trials, the peer-reviewed publications. We will be doing all of that. This is a great place to start this Ayurveda Essential Nutrition and Ayurveda Advanced Nutrition course with Rupaliji. So please, if you can and interested, do take this course starting in January. I think you'll offer the Essential Nutrition course the quarter after, or maybe 2 quarters after, depending on your schedule.
Yeah, yeah, maybe 2 quarters after because we will be planning fasting and detox after advance.
Okay, so we're gonna have this advanced nutrition in January through March, and then fasting and detox so April through June, and then again essential nutrition in the fall quarter after that. Great. Okay, so please do keep a lookout for that. We'll send all these details in the email following up. We'll include the recording and some of these links that we're talking about, so you'll have access to that. If you haven't filled out the poll, please hit the minimize, maximize button. Let us know if you're interested in this course starting in January. And I think we still have 20 open questions. So Rupaliji, I'll let you kind of pick and choose your way through some of these questions. Yeah, so Chitaji, the formal certificate for Ayurvedic therapy is kind of the certificate program that's Ayurvedic counseling is through the California College of Ayurveda. So at HUA, we're going to be developing a separate certificate that's going to be rolled out shortly, and this course will qualify and count there. So we'll have two pathways. We'll illustrate that in the email. Rupaliji, which question is popping out at you?
Sorry?
Which question would you like to take next?
Oh, sure. I think Shivanandaji has asked that his question is not being answered. So can you let me know what is the question of? I couldn't find his question, Shivanandaji's question.
Yeah, you kind of addressed it. He was asking about the 60-year-old who's been living with hypertension,
Oh, okay.
had the brain stroke. And so you kind of answered that by saying we have
Yeah, yeah.
specific
He can
sessions.
he can contact me because it is very personal question. So maybe I would like to know more about the case and then answer his questions. But I'll definitely try to help you.
Yeah, I like that approach. If you have something that's very personal and needs a lot of attention, this public webinar is not the place for that. The general questions, yes. And so those personal, kind of specific ones, Rupaliji has put her contact information in the chat, and she can give you more attention that way as well. So,
Sure, sure.
yeah, so
For the
thank you for
course,
Ankur, I have
there
a,
is homework, grading, marks to pass. So homework is, I mean, all homework is very less. Basically, it is interesting. You will love doing homework. And there are, yes, a final exam is there, which is again very simple. So you will need very less effort to pass that exam so that you will get the course completion certificate.
there are a
Okay.
couple of points I wanted to add, Rupaliji.
Mm-hmm.
Can you turn
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
camera,
So,
Kijiji?
okay. Okay. So the course is very interactive through the whole presentation. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the last time we finished in 1.5 hours. It usually goes to 2 hours because there are so many questions, and Rupaliji answers them so patiently. And all these course webinars, they're recorded. So if you happen to be traveling, or if you happen, listening to Rupaliji is often like trying to drink out of a fire hose. And, and often at times you have to go back and listen to it again and again. And so all the sessions are recorded. So I highly recommend, and as a matter of fact, I very much recommend people go back and listen to it because I take copious notes. Every time I usually at the end of the course, I've taken like 5, 6 pages of notes. And so you can listen to the session again, go over the notes and fill in the gaps that you couldn't get in the first presentation. The book Food Guru, I highly recommend people get that. It's got several dozens of recipes in there. Um, and knowing the prakruti of an individual is extremely important. And I think Rupaliji is also available for private consultation, so you can find somebody locally. Before I've seen so many people I have talked to, and they mix all these different Ayurvedic powders. All the Indian stores carry the trifalas and ashwagandhas and gogul and moringas, and I've seen some people that just willy-nilly prepare their own concoctions. I don't think that's a very good idea. I think you got to know your prakruti and know what you're taking and when you're taking and how it should be taken. So though it has no side effects, it can have side effects if you just take the wrong things at the wrong time. And then the point that was made earlier, Hindu University acquiring California College of Ayurveda, I think we are still trying to kind of figure out how the two will mesh together properly. And another point, the use of Ayurvedic knowledge in palliative care. And here in the Houston area, we have the very world famous MD Anderson Cancer Center. Um, People from all over the world come here for therapies, and they have a department in there for palliative care. And I think Ayurveda can play a very important role in fourth stage cancer, in people's ability to cope with the fourth stage cancer. So maybe Rupal, you can talk a little bit more about it. And somehow Ayurveda has not really penetrated into their system. Yoga has. So we have this S Vyasa organization over here, and one of the ladies that runs that, Smita Malaya, um, she actually works for MD Anderson. She offers yoga therapy. I think if a little bit of Ayurveda can also be added, and Ayurveda and yoga are kind of joined at the hip, but somehow the popularity of yoga is like 10 times bigger than Ayurveda. And I wish that it would be a little bit different and people would give equal emphasis to Ayurveda compared to yoga. I think the two work hand in hand. They must work hand in hand. Anyway, those were the points I wanted to add.
Thank you, Vijayji. Yeah.
Thank you, Vijay. Absolutely, Ayurveda and yoga should go hands in hand because they are very much complementary, the Siddhantas and theories. Absolutely agree on that.
Okay. I think generally we've gone through a lot of the questions. Maybe Santosh is asking, is there a way to determine how much knowledge somebody would need to get into the advanced versus the beginner, or is it good for them to just jump in and they'll be able to if they're dedicated, they're able to read a little bit, you'll be able to catch them up.
Mm. So, Food Guru helps a lot to understand basic principles of the Ayurveda nutrition, as Vijayji mentioned, because it is very much aligned with the course, essential Ayurveda course. So, if you are absolutely not aware of any Ayurveda knowledge, I recommend that buy Food Guru first, go through it at least twice, and definitely it will help you a lot in understanding Ayurveda advanced course.
Wonderful. This is kind of
And
interesting.
other books are also recommended in LMS. Once you enroll, you will get the resources for other books also.
Yeah. This is kind of an interesting question. HK is asking for you to comment on RFK Jr.'s position on Ayurveda. I don't know what RFK Jr.'s position specifically is.
Even I
Is
am not able to understand that.
So RFK Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to be the director of, or he's been nominated to be the director of Health and Human Services, right? One of the secretary level positions in the Trump administration. And just maybe if you're not so familiar with his stance specifically, then maybe just the politics of health, right? And what gets shared, how it gets shared, and your take on it and how Ayurveda can address it, how it is addressing or penetrating into that space.
Well, absolutely, politics will be the game changer for Ayurveda in United States. So that's the area where state organization and national organizations are working. For example, Ayurveda Association of Florida and other organization. So we are trying to take help of politicians to promote, not only promote, but to bring Ayurveda in mainstream in USA. And I'm very hopeful that in few years there will be total different picture regarding Ayurveda in United States.
Yeah.
It may be when it comes to RFK Jr., this man is a total anti-vaxxer. And
Okay.
he has all these conspiracy theories, and so who knows, maybe we can talk to him and convince him that maybe try to introduce Ayurveda to some of the things that he does. I mean, it's worth a try.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to pick that up in a different capacity. Kumuji, yes, your hand is raised. Let's hear from you briefly, please.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Yes, so I put a question in the chat you have not answered yet, but it's about the gum and teeth health. What advice you have? I know, like in my grandfather's time, they used to use that tree bark to brush your teeth. Obviously, we don't do that now, but so what's good advice for the teeth health?
I think I answered you separately by text. I answered you as oil pulling. Oil pulling is a very effective remedy, very effective dinacharya protocol for gum, teeth, and overall oral cavity health. So oil pulling is nothing but squishing using just you gargle with the mouthwash. So you just take either sesame oil or coconut oil, 20 ml, maybe 20 ml is enough, and you have to hold it in your oral cavity. You have to squish it. You have to move it right and left, up and down for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And you just have to gargle with warm water. And along with that, using herbal toothpaste is always my recommendation. Minimal chemicals, because toothpaste is the first chemical you every day put in your mouth. So try to avoid chemical loaded toothpaste and shift to natural or overall herbal toothpaste. Nowadays, datuns are also available. Datuns are nothing but Ayurvedic brushes, herbs. They can be used as brush. So you can also go shift to manjans, shift to datuns or Ayurvedic toothpaste for that matter, along with oil pulling.
Nice. And it's like every aspect of Ayurveda has different details to address, be it dental hygiene, and you get into it course by course, right? That's the whole point. Umeshi is
Yes.
saying RFK Jr. is not an anti-vaxxer. Please go do your homework before. But like the it's a complicated thing, right? When people are trying to put nuance into politics and convince other people. Anyway, we'll leave that alone because that isn't the course, but it does come up in so many different ways. A few more questions in the Q&A box. What do we have left? Still kind of a few personal stuff. We can maybe get into that later. Maybe a broad Ayurveda, homeopathy, naturopathy, maybe the context of those and the roles.
Sure, sure. So Ayurveda and homeopathy again are very different sciences, I will say, and the overall, formulations and medicine preparation is also different because homeopathy uses the extract method, is Artho method, and Ayurveda concentrates on using the whole herbs for the ingredients. There are various samskaras or various processes also while preparing the Ayurvedic herbs. Theories are also very different. I'm not very much aware of the homeopathic theories, but the theories that I am aware of from that, they are very different from Ayurveda. Whereas naturopathy theories, to some extent, aligns with the Ayurvedic theories, but again, naturopathy, they are more concentrated on using Panchabhutik Chikitsa. So they are using water, they are using earth, they are using air as medicine, and they are not focusing on herbs or any other formulations like Ayurveda. Nisargopachara therapy, for example, Basti. So Basti is a therapy from Ayurveda, which is nothing but the enema, evacuation through your bowel using the rectum as a path. But again, Basti and enema are totally different things because enema is just to extract your stool out of your bowel or out of your rectum. So you can use water, you can use any other solution for that. But Basti is totally different. Basti is aimed to treat various health diseases. Even if you are having bone disorders, Basti will be the treatment. So enema is just evacuation of bowel, but Basti is a very, very, very complex method to treat almost 80 types of disorders in Ayurveda. So on that level, Ayurveda and Nisargopchara are two different things. Nisargopchara, we can say that, um, external therapies are used more, whereas Ayurvedic therapies are more internal and like Vamana, Virechana, these are the part of Panchakarma which is missing in Nisargopachara. So external therapies like mud therapies, water therapies, cleansing your nasal cavity. So these are promoted in Nisargopachara. So Shodhana is the word for that, which is used in Ayurveda, but Shodhana uh, needs internal preparation of the body, then cleansing of the body, and then restoration of the immunity and overall metabolism, which is a very standardized and time-taking method which is used in Ayurveda, while Nisargopchara just concentrate on external cleansing. So that is the difference in three sciences, I would say. Yes, like cures, like so they give a very dilute extraction on substance to stimulate immunity. Right. Yeah, I agree. It's too late in India. So thank you for joining. Whoever is joining from India, thank you so much and good night to you.
Okay. So I think we are getting quite a few personal questions, and please reach out to Rupaliji directly or me, and we can forward it. There's still a lot of diet questions, right? And you touched on the vegetarian and vegan diets a little bit, right? The general benefits is one, and another set of questions around just Satiji, salad or boiled veggies. I don't know if it's like a choice, but just in your food guru book, you get into it, right? You talk about
Yes, yes, I
why
talk about
these
that.
kinds of foods are beneficial for these sorts of conditions. Are there
Right.
just some general take-home messages that you want to share? And any other previous students? I think Terry was a previous student. If you're a previous student and you want to give a testimonial, just raise your hand, and we'll get you in before we close the webinar in a few minutes. So, Rupaliji, let's start
Sure.
wrapping up.
Oh, yes, yes. First of all, if I'm not able to answer your questions, I'm sorry for that. I would definitely love to answer your question. You can contact me or you can definitely enroll in the course because there is a separate session dedicated to only Q&A. So, and of course, during the session also, I try to answer as many questions as possible, even though those are personal. You can also contact me if you want to consult for that matter. And yes, I'm looking forward to see you in the classes. And I'm sure you will learn a lot from Ayurveda nutrition, and you will definitely be positively, implement in not only your life, but your friends, relatives, and family's life to make a positive changes, many positive changes rather. in their overall lifestyle and nutritional habits. So thank you so much again for joining. And if you have any questions regarding course or any other thing, I have provided my contact details, or you can also write to HUF.
Okay. Well, Vijayji, thank you for joining and sharing. Rupaliji, amazing having you. Glad to be continuing to offer these courses in Ayurveda, building on them and welcoming people into this area of study that has so many real-world daily applications. So thank you all for joining our last webinar of the year at Hindu University of America. Let's end the year strong, start the year well. Let's be healthy together. I don't know if we have a tagline or something, but it's an amazing journey that we're on together. And please stick around, enroll, join the courses. See you at the next webinar. Thank you so much. Dhanyawad.
Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. Take care.